Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Dougie's pre-match football analysis. Obviously, it's been a fantastic week in for football. Some really good games of football, lots of goals. Anyone saw the 3-2 Chelsea loss? I mean, that's a turn up for the works. I don't think many people were expecting that. And obviously the Liverpool game. Even though some poor defending, was a cracking game of football, 3-3. Like I said, a great advert for Premier League. It's been a fantastic week so far. But here we are. It's the first Super Sunday of the year. Very exciting. It's a beautiful day in London. I don't know about elsewhere, but the sun is shining, and yeah, I'm really excited about today. Two cracking games. We've got Tottenham and Newcastle with St James's, and obviously Man United, West Ham at Old Trafford, which is always a good fixture. I'm going to be covering the Man United West Ham game. Obviously, that's the 4 o'clock kickoff down at Old Trafford. In terms of head-to-heads, there's been about 42 games played in the Premier League era. 26 wins for Man United, 17 of them coming at home and 9 away. In retrospect, West Ham 5 wins at Upton Park or London Stadium, 3 wins away. 3 wins at home. And 2 wins away. 5 wins in total, I should say. The rest of them have been draws, been 11 draws, 2 of them coming at Old Trafford and 9 at West Ham. So, I mean, it really does show you, the stats show you head-to-heads wise, it's really in favour of Man United, especially at home. Out of the 21 fixtures they played at home, they've recorded 17 wins. And they've only dropped points in 4 games, and 2 of them were draws. I mean, the last time West Ham won there, just to put it in hindsight, they won there back in 2007, if you remember. It's the famous goal by Carlos Tevez, just before obviously he went to United. So that was the last time. We're talking about almost 10 years ago now, or 10 years I should say, since they last won at Old Trafford. So not a happy stomping ground for West Ham. Recent meetings, we've got last fixture was at London Stadium. That was 2-0 Man United, red card in that one. 1-1 last season at Old Trafford. West Ham won the season before at the Boleyn Ground. That was 3-2. And Man United was 0-0 at Old Trafford. Season before was 1-1. So does go to show you, even though over the course of the Premier League era, he's been heavily in favour of Man United. In recent times, West Ham have fared a lot better. The most common result has obviously been a draw. And in the last 2 seasons, they've come away with a point in both games at Old Trafford. So the draw is the most common result. West Ham are finding it a lot better to play there now. And they hope to continue that run today. In terms of stats, Man United tend to dominate the game, as I'm sure you expect, especially under Mourinho. They like to keep hold of the ball. They've averaged about 60% possession over the last sort of 2 seasons against West Ham. So it gives us an idea how West Ham are going to set up. I'm pretty sure they're going to try and sit behind the ball and frustrate United, stop them playing through the lines, make it nice and compact, and really make it difficult to break down. I think they're going to come there looking for the draw today. I think their main objective is to firstly not to concede, and then if they can nick a goal and get a result, either a draw or maybe a tight win, that'll be a bonus. But I think they'll be looking to set up shop, be tight, and make it difficult for United. In terms of shots, Man United sort of dominate the shots and shots on target column. Last season away, to give you an idea, they had 13 shots compared to West Ham's 8, and they had a 46% shots on target ratio, obviously scoring 2 of those. So they're going to be looking for that sort of conversion rate again. Although it must be considered that obviously West Ham were down to 10 men in that fixture. It was in the 15th minute, very early on. It took them about 63 minutes to break down West Ham and break that deadlock. In the game at United, they actually posted a high percentage of possession. They had a 68% possession, which you always expect at home. They had 17 shots, 8 of them which were on target, compared to West Ham. They only had 6. And 2 of those were on target, but they did convert 1 out of the 2 into goals. On the other hand, Man United recorded a 12.5% conversion rate. They only scored 1. So if West Ham are going to get anything out of the game today, they're going to need Man United to miss chances, not be clinical in front of goal. And on the other hand, they're going to need to be clinical. I don't see them getting many chances today, so if they do, it really needs to be put away if they're going to take any points away from Old Trafford. Challenges as well, if you're looking at cards and things like that. Really aggressive game normally. There's been 4 yellow cards in the last 3 and 1 red in the most recent fixture. If you're looking for someone to get booked, it's got to be Antonio Valencia if he starts. He's been booked in the last 3 games, so it gives you an idea about cards. Injuries, we'll move on. Luke Shaw still out. Obviously Rojo and Ashley Young. Considering these players have been out for quite a while, I don't really expect to have a major influence on how the game's going to turn out. A lot of them been out for a long time, and actually Young, Luke Shaw weren't really in the starting 11, let's say, before the injury anyway. So West Ham have got more of an injury crisis going on, especially in the striking department. Andy Carroll, groin injury, seems like he's injured every week, seems to play 1 game. It's a shame because I think he's a good player and he's a real handful in the box. He's an old-fashioned sort of striker, and he just seems to have serious injury problems consistently. But when he's in, he's very good. Unfortunately, he's out today. Lanzini with a knee injury, and Antonio with a hamstring, all out, which is extremely worrying for West Ham. Bearing in mind the 3 players I've just mentioned were last year's top goal scorers. Between them, they scored 27 goals. I mean, this is surely going to have an impact on the game. You take that many goals out of the game, it's surely going to hinder them in that department. So I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham do struggle to score today. Transfer-wise, obviously Lindelöf's come from Benfica, 31 million. He's been this defensive player that has sort of been stated by Jose Mourinho that he can play anywhere. Romelu Lukaku from Everton, undisclosed fee, and Nemanja Matic from Chelsea. 3 very good signings there. Out in the out department, Wayne Rooney's the only one really to mention. We've got Januzaj going as well. In terms of Lukaku, I mean, they invested heavily in Lukaku. He's the powerful Belgian forward. He scored 25 times for Everton last term, 12 goals. What's interesting though is the range of goals he scored. I mean, he scored 7 with his left foot. Naturally, he's a left-footed player. He scored 7. With his right, he scored 6, nearly equaling the same total. And he scored 6 with his head, and 12 goals with his left. Sorry, I should start that again. 12 goals with his left foot, 7 with his right, and 6 with his head. So it goes to show you the range of goals he can score. He seems to be able to score from anywhere. He'll definitely be targeting the Golden Boot this year. Come very close last year. I'm sure he's going to get more chances to do it at United. The service can be a lot better, and I expect him to score quite a few goals this year. Obviously, his shooting accuracy is about 50% as well, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him on the score sheet today. I think he's going to be a real handful for the West Ham defence. Matic was brought in from Chelsea. Surprised me, this one. 40 million they suggested. Surprised me Chelsea would sell him. I think he's a good player. He's been brought in to sort of anchor that Man United midfield, really freeing up Pogba, allowing him to be creative and push further up the pitch. He's looking at about a 73% tackle success, and he's made about 50% interceptions last year. So I think he's going to be there trying to break up play, distributing the ball in front of that midfield line and trying to play it into Pogba and allowing him to do his thing. The last boy, the new boy, Victor Lindelof from Benfica. A lot was made about him when he signed. He's had a bit of a shaky start, obviously against that game for Real Madrid. There's a lot of criticism. Hopefully it hasn't affected him too much. It would be interesting to see how he copes with the Premier League, the pace and the power. Maybe it'll take him a while to settle in. The only one player leaving of note, obviously Wayne Rooney. He wasn't a first-team player under Mourinho, so I don't expect to have too much reflection on the outcome of today. Although he did score on his return to Everton yesterday, which was great to see, I think, especially an Everton boy. Really seemed like he enjoyed scoring that goal. West Ham ins, we've got Marco Arnautovic from Stoke and Javi Hernandez, 16 million from Bayer Leverkusen. 2 good signs, really needed to sort of enter into that striking option. They got a lot of players out. They weren't scoring a lot of goals anyway, so they really needed to strengthen in that area, and it looks like Bilic has done that. A couple of players going in at Valencia, Darren Randolph, Ashley Fletcher to make a note. Players not really going to make too much of a difference, I don't think. get them off the books and got some new players in, it's not really going to reflect on the outcome of today. In terms of Arnautovic, I mean, I think he's a very good player. They bought him from Stoke. He's very strong. You tell looking at him as a physical specimen. He's a big lad, strong, powerful player. West Ham will be open. He scores more goals than he did last year. He only scored 6. And not one of those with his head, which really surprised me, bearing in mind he's a very big physical presence. I'm sure if he could get in the box, he could really dominate, maybe like an Andy Carroll does, but he just doesn't seem to score goals with his head, so he needs to improve in that area. The player that was really exciting the Hammers is obviously Chicharito, the little P as he's known. Obviously well known for his times at United. He'll be thriving and looking to score really sort of. He's really got a point to prove in this one, especially being released by United, saying that he wasn't good enough. So he'll be looking to get on the score sheet today. He scored goals wherever he's gone. I mean, he tallied up for Leverkusen, I think it was 11 goals in 26 games. Last season before, he scored 17 goals in 28 games. I mean, that's more in less games than West Ham top scorer last year. Antonio only managed 9. So I think if West Ham are going to have a good season this year, they're really going to need his goals to push him up the table. I think if he gets injured, I really do think they're going to struggle. Prediction time. Man United only lost 5 times last year. I don't see him losing today. I think Mourinho sets up his team very well. He sets them up from the back first. They defend well and they look to attack after that foundation's been set. So they did concede the most amount of draws last year. They had 15 draws, the highest in the Premier League. I mean, in my opinion, for a club like Man United, that's far too much. But like I said, I can't see him losing. But a draw is a high possibility. My actual prediction: I think Man United are going to be too much for West Ham today. I think they've got too many players out. I think Man United are strengthened in the right areas as well. I can see Man United winning by 2 clear goals. That's 2, and Lukaku to be an anytime goal scorer as well. I think he'll score today. He's been looking good in pre-season as well. Missed in the Real Madrid match, but followed that up with a goal. So he normally gets sort of 3 or 4 chances a game. Normally one of those gets converted. So I can see Lukaku scoring today. If you want an outside bet, obviously we did talk about a draw. I can see it being a real possibility today. If it's still 0-0 at half time. And the frustration sets in for United, I can see it possibly ending that way as well. So if you want an outside bet, maybe a 0-0 or 1-1. So this is the end of Dougie's pre-match analysis. Enjoy the game, enjoy the Tottenham game as well. I'm sure they're both going to be crackers. If it's anything like the rest of the weekend's been, it's going to be 2 fantastic games of football. Really excited about the new season. There's going to be plenty more to come from me. Please post any comments at the bottom. There's also a full match report, a written match report on my website. So if you want to not listen to me dribble on and rather just read the facts and the figures, please feel free to go to my website and leave any comments on the bottom of this. So thank you for your time today. Have a great day and enjoy the football.